Mystery of Puma Punku. Proof of ancient alien technology. Puma Punku is part of a large temple complex or monument group that is part of the Tiwanaku site near Tiwanaku, in western Bolivia. It is believed to date to 536 AD and later. Archaeologists believe the site to be the cradle of civilization in South America predating the Mayans. Evidence found in this region of Bolivia suggests the area was a flourishing center for pre-Columbian culture. However, recent discoveries of monolithic structures 15 to 20 meters under the surface of nearby Lake Titicaca, off the coast of Puerto Acosta, establish that this civilization may date back as much as 12,000 earlier. This calculation comes from archaeologist Hugo Boero Rojo, who calculated the depth of the structures found means that this area of Lake Titicaca was above water level at some time in the past. Sedimentary evidence places that time at between 11,700 and 10,800 BC. This would make Tiwanaku the oldest civilization known to man. Puma Punku is a large temple complex on the edge of Tiwanaku. Inca oral and written traditions tell of the site being the location where the father god, Viracocha, created earth and humans. Their legends explain that Viracocha created humans from the earth on a great rock. He sectioned the rock, and sent two giant servants to name the tribes of the world. The pinnacle of the Puma Punku site is their gateway of the sun that depicts Viracocha coming through a type of Stargate. The carving is created from a single 12-ton stone. Scattered about the site are many monolithic stones that are precisely cut, and rooted in multiple levels with perfect angles, and straight lines. Many of the blocks are cut in perfect interlocking shapes. A feat far beyond a primitive civilization that used stone and bronze hand tools. The only explanation for this precision work is the use of machine tools similar to the diamond-tipped quarry saws, masonry drills, CNC routers used today, and powered by electricity, or internal combustion engines. No archaeologist, or scientist can offer any other explanation for the amazing existence of Puma Punku's stonework. The stories of Viracocha and his giant servants must have been primitive interpretations of visitation by highly intelligent aliens that possessed the technology to make the structures present at Puma Punku. The stories of Viracocha's creation of mankind, and then destroying it with a great flood, is consistent with the ancient Sumerian texts of the Anunnaki, and even the Judeo-Christian Bible's Old Testament creation stories, and the Great Flood. How could all of these disparate civilizations develop the same creation and destruction by flood stories, unless they were independent accounts of real events that were documented by humans under the direction of ancient aliens, who brought the technology for machines, language, and genetic invention? On the shores of Lake Titicaca, the primary water source for the Tiwanaku region, archaeologists found a unique stone dish named Fuente Magna. The amazing fact about this artifact is that it's covered in Proto-Sumerian writing. Why is this shocking? Because the two civilizations are divided by almost 5,000 miles, a vast ocean, and lack of technological ability to build vessels capable of crossing the ocean. In addition, the ancient Sumerian language was not used in this pre-Columbian civilization. So, how did it get there? And why was it so highly regarded that it appears on pottery of the time? When Spanish explorers landed in Bolivia, the inhabitants of the Tiwanaku region thought the gods of Viracocha had returned. Their oral traditions described the gods as having light skin and reddish hair. The Spanish explorers had lighter skin than the Colombians, and wore shiny armor, and arrived in large ships that had never been known to these people. Did ancient aliens that had lighter skin and reddish hair visit this area, and build the monuments present with advanced tools? The evidence points to this as the most likely explanation. The perfectly smooth cuts, skillfully drilled holes and CNC-style rooted shapes present in the thousands of solid stone blocks throughout Puma Punku may not seem as amazing to us at first glance. After all, We are part of the 21st century civilization where geometric perfection and high-quality power tools are present in every aspect of our lives. However, this was not the case for the inhabitants of Tiwanaku in 11,300 BC. The earliest civilization to develop hand tools that used bronze didn't appear until around 3600 BC. Prior to this, stone tools were the only means of shaping the environment. How then can anyone explain the clear evidence of highly advanced machining processes at Puma Punku? The scholars that try to explain how primitive bronze hand tools can perfectly cut massive granite stones, and root geometric shapes are failing to surrender to the simple truth that the only explanation is the presence of advanced alien technology, brought to Earth by beings from another planet. When studying the ancient ruins of Tiwanaku through the lens of our contemporary knowledge of mathematics and geometry, the geometrically perfect shapes, cuts and forms may not seem strange. We see perfect geometry around us every day in our buildings, automobiles, furniture, and tools. However, when you realize the pre-Columbian people that inhabited this region had no written language, and still used stone and bronze tools, you realize how bizarre the scene really is. Even after 14,000 years of outdoor erosion, we can still see the perfectly shaped stones, intricately rooted patterns and perfectly drilled round holes scream to us of alien technology origins. The building capabilities of other primitive people thousands of years after Puma Punku's inhabitants would have consisted of cuddly fashioned adobe-style clay bricks, mud as mortar, and thatched roofs woven together with grasses and vine. However, at Puma Punku we see geometrically perfect 90-degree angle cut stones in repeating patterns of precision, interlocking stones weight several tons each, and advanced three-dimensional architectural design. Equally as amazing is the mystery of how these people could have moved stones weighing over 20 tons without access to trees to fashion wheel, rollers and structural support frames. Puma Punku is high in the Andes Mountains, above the tree line. As you look out along the horizons in every direction, you see there isn't a tree in sight. How could these people move such enormous blocks, and fit them precisely into position along high walls? Scattered around the ancient ruins of Puma Punku at Tiwanaku are hundreds of solid stone blocks of various sizes and interlocking shapes. To the eyes of people in the 21st century, these shapes are not bizarre. In fact, they seem quite familiar. Modern building techniques usually employ high-powered tools to drill holes in stone, and root perfect geometric shapes that cannot be achieved by hand tools. Then, the reality of the scene hits you. This is not a site of modern building. It is, in fact, possibly the oldest site known to mankind. Believed to be constructed 14,000 years ago, Puma Punku perfectly drilled holes in repeating patterns of mathematical precision, and accurately rooted shapes, and interlocking engineering could only have been achieved through the use of tools that didn't exist until the Industrial Revolution of the 1800s. And even then, some of the precision work found at Puma Punku could not have been achieved until computer-assisted diamond-tipped CNC routers were developed in the 1960s. These facts are confirmed by every archaeologist and engineer that has visited the site and studied the ruins. Under high-powered microscopes, scientists can see that the holes drilled were done so in the same means as used today, an impossible feat for the stone and bronze-wielding inhabitants of this pre-Columbian civilization. There is only one feasible explanation, and one that brings too much fear for many PhD authors to embrace. Ancient aliens were present in Tiwanaku. These alien beings possessed advanced knowledge of mathematics, building techniques, and possessed high-powered precision tools capable of shaping stone into the precision building components that are still present today.